Hello, Human Collective. Welcome to the Upside to Grief. My name is Story, and I am your host. And this week we are welcoming back Eileen, and she is here to do one of our segments with us. Thank you so much for coming on again.
Thank you so much for having me.
Of course. Um, we are going to do Grief in the Wild, is the segment that you chose. And for those of you who haven't seen the previous Grief in the Wild segments, I think we've only done one so far, so I think this is the second one. In a weird way to say it, but Grief in the Wild's a little fun, I guess. There's heavier segments for sure.
Yeah.
I feel like our Moments of Knowing is fun and lighthearted, and then Grief in the Wild, I guess, is kind of like funny to look back on sometimes. You know, it's not funny in the moment,
Right.
but then like looking back on it, you're just like, yep, that happened.
Yes. Yes, it did.
Yeah, so for those of you who are not sure of what Grief in the Wild is, essentially it is the times that you're out in public and your grief just kind of hits you. Like you'll be at the grocery store shopping and then all of a sudden you're crying. And yeah, so it's those kind of things. So
Yeah.
do you want to share with us about your Grief in the Wild that you've experienced?
Yes, I definitely get grief in the wild with music,
Yes.
and that I do work at a grocery store, so
Oh, yes,
the music
that's right.
comes on.
Yeah. Oh, shit.
And there's certain songs that come on, and it just hits me. And I mean, I'm working amongst people, and I'll just start bawling.
Yeah.
And then I'll try to sip outside or go to the bathroom. But it does happen driving. It happens in visiting people. I just I know there's times where someone will say something that Dan said and it was funny, or something about what he said and how he said it, and they do it, and I'll just crack up and I'll just be like, oh my God, that's so Dan. So there is a lot of that. I think that's probably the most of, like, remembering him and having things come to me often with numbers also. His birthday is 9/28, and that comes up on the register, or it comes up on the time.
Yeah.
Or 1956. That's his year of birth. And those things always seem to get me right back into that setting of, fuck, you're not here.
Yeah.
You're not here.
So those right, like running into the numbers too. We've talked briefly about that in the past about numbers. I think it's a thing for a lot of people. And how it's for some people it's more of like what we would call moments of knowing, right? Like a little hello.
Right.
But I guess what I'm hearing from you though is like you get the little hello, but then it triggers like the heavy emotions right after it. Yeah.
Yeah, especially the numbers that pertain just to him, like his birthday, the date that he passed, the date he was born, our wedding date. These dates come up, and it just is like, I just feel that he is visiting. He's saying hello. And I just look up and just go, hey, babe, thanks for visiting. Thanks for coming by. Thanks for saying hi.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
I heard a quote yesterday when I was scrolling on social media, and it said, you didn't get to spend the rest of your life with them, but they got to spend the rest of their life with you. And there's beauty in that. And I like read it a few times. And I was like, because I've never heard anybody say that to me, and I've never read that before. It was the first time it ever came up for me. It was yesterday.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I do think there's beauty in that.
Mm-hmm.
But it also sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because...
No, don't be sorry. You're fine.
Because you plan your whole future with them, and you plan those times that, let's do this when we retire, let's do that, and let's take this trip, let's go here, you know, and you really invest in those.
Well, yeah.
Those times, those moments, those conversations, because you just bank on it to be happening in the future.
Yeah. Well,
you know?
I mean, like when you find your person too, because not everybody finds that. Not everybody gets that.
Right.
And so then you have it, and then you have all these plans.
Right.
And then they're gone.
They're gone.
And then it's just you.
Right.
I mean, like, yes, there's other people around, but like, it's just you.
Yeah.
You get that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is just you.
Yeah. Nobody can carry your grief for you.
No. And I don't shy away from it. I don't hide it. You know, if someone sees me crying, are you okay? Yep, I'm good. And I keep walking, or, you know, and then I'll just say, you know, it hits me whenever. You don't know. You know, something in a movie, some song comes on, like I said, and like he was a big Bob Dylan fan, and so anytime I hear Bob Dylan, whether I know the song or not, or I wasn't even much of a fan, but now I'm I'm a bigger fan of Bob Dylan. But you know,
you're welcome, Bob Dylan.
Yes. It just takes me there, you know.
Of course.
And then I keep hitting.
No, you can move it
Maybe
up a little bit if you want.
There you go. Yeah, that's better. Because I keep moving.
Oh yeah, that's okay. We hit this.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound great for everybody. We're sorry, but we talk with our hands.
So, but yeah, so I think being out and about and running into situations, phrases, people say things that remind me of him. But one thing I do know is I do ride a motorcycle, and when a song comes on and I'm in the wind and, you know, I just feel him and I feel whatever song's coming through, and which isn't probably the greatest time to start crying when you're on your motorcycle and you're trying to, you know, focus on the road.
You're like, okay, we're still driving.
Yeah, just suck it up right now, you know. But it is pretty freeing, you know, to be on your bike and to think about.
It sounds like it would be.
Yeah. So, yeah.
I love that.
Those are good, but
yeah,
hard times.
Yeah, I feel like yours, like I was saying with the moments of knowing, I feel like yours are almost kind of like intertwined. Like your grief in the wild and your moments of knowing, they kind of, you know, which makes sense. I don't know why I've never thought about it until just this second. Like I've always been like, no, this is this one and this is this one, but they're very much right next to each other. Like, which makes sense.
Yeah.
You know, and like how you were saying, right? There's songs that come on at work.
Yeah.
So I work at a musical venue, and they play covers of songs.
Yeah.
And for the longest time, I've always, like, I wasn't experiencing grief there, and I can't remember if I've shared this yet. So if you've already heard this, I'm sorry, but I'm always happy there because it's like music and fun and everybody's dancing and singing and all this stuff, right? And it was like this weird little place where my grief didn't exist for a little bit. I mean, I've only been there for about 6 months.
Right.
And so it was cool, right?
Everything's good.
And then one night, the song that I walked down the aisle to came on, and I froze.
Yeah.
I was trying to put an order in, and I froze. And then I was just like, it's fine. Okay, take a breath. It's fine. But I literally, like, I couldn't put in the order. Like, it took me a second to, like, reel it together.
Yeah.
And be like, okay. And then I was like, I'm just going to step outside for a second, you know, and I've processed this with Erica a bit too, you know, and she was like, yeah, well, you know, maybe Ken's like, I want to hang out there too. And I'm like, I know that would be rude of me to be like, no, you cannot come here.
This is my spot.
This is my space, and you're not allowed to bug me when I'm at work. So then I like had to look at it that way,
right.
you know, which is intertwining grief in the wild with moments of knowing.
Yeah.
Because, right, it's like, shit, I'm crying at work. Okay. Right. But also, it's a little like, hey.
Yeah.
How's it going? How's work?
Yeah.
Just saying hi.
Yeah.
Don't mean to fuck you up.
Yeah,
but
right.
it's like, oh my God.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. 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 Sometimes I just have to walk around the building, you know, but there's other moments that are good, but I think it's more on the sadder side for me.
Yeah.
But he was the funniest guy. Oh my God, was he funny? And then sometimes I think of some of the stuff that he would say and those little sayings that he would say, I say them now.
Yeah. Oh, of course.
Yeah. And I crack myself up, you know, it's just so funny.
Yeah. And when we think of those like little sayings, right? Like, at least for me, when I think of stuff that like Ken used to say all the time, like when I think of it, I hear it in his voice.
Right. Yes.
You know,
yes.
It's like, you know how like you'll read a text message from somebody, but you read it in their voice.
Absolutely.
So it's kind of like the same thing happens when I think of like something happens where something that Ken would say pops up.
Yeah.
It's his voice in my head that I'm hearing it in.
Right.
And I think that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Because we don't get to hear their voice anymore. And so it's almost like a little gift.
Yeah. He used to make fun of me because I was on Facebook. He goes, "What are you doing? Are you on Facebook?" And I totally hear that in his voice. And I see how he's saying it, his whole face, his everything, all his movements is just spot on.
Yeah.
Like he's right in front of me.
Yeah.
Saying that.
I love that.
Yeah. That's right. It's good.
Is there any other ones you want to share about?
You know, I just, I know there's probably many more. Can I think of them right now? No.
That's okay. Some of them we keep for ourselves.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's okay.
Yeah. I just, it's just not coming to mind more. But at the time when I filled out the paperwork and I said, oh yeah, that, because it happens to me all the time.
Like, I live this.
Oh my God, I should have wrote down
in real life.
Right.
This is my life.
Yes. Yeah. And that's why I wanted to, you know.
Yeah. No, I love what you shared.
Yeah.
And I love that you have that time on your bike too.
Yeah.
That's special.
It is. It really is. Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah. Thanks.
Well, thank you for sharing with us your moments and your grief in the wild, both. I'm going to call this a Moments of Knowing Grief in the Wild mashup.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe, and we will see you next week. Bye.
Bye.